Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we're looking into the disappearance of Laurie Lynn Partridge. She went missing 1974, Spokane, Washington, age 17, 5 foot tall, 110 pounds. She was wearing a long hooded navy blue coat similar to a monk's robe, a tan sweater, tan plaid pants, blue denim shoes with crepe soles, carrying a brown leather purse with a flower design and a braided shoulder strap. There are associated vehicles. One of them mentions a green Ford Pinto Station Wagon, and another one, somewhere else I thought mentioned another one. Blonde hair, blue eyes. She has a brown mole on her right cheek. She left her classes at school in Spokane, Washington, because she was suffering from menstrual cramps, it says. She couldn't find a ride, so she decided to walk the 2 miles to her home. She was last seen walking south on Havana Street near 37th Avenue. There were reports of a green Ford Pinto Station Wagon in the area, possibly following her. She never arrived home. She's never been heard from again. Her parents reported her missing when she failed to report to work at the theater. Her father had bought her tickets to the Beach Boy concert, and the police went to the concert to see if she would arrive there, and they didn't see her. But somebody used her tickets. So I guess they weren't watching for her tickets per se, and that would have probably been a good idea. They probably realized that after that. The contents of her purse were located in the area where she was last seen on December 6, 1974, 2 days after her disappearance. Authorities initially believed she left on her own accord, but her family never believed this, and police have since revised their opinion, but now they think she was taken against her will. She and her 20-year-old boyfriend were hoping to get married. They were planning to select an engagement ring on the day of her disappearance. She worked for a high school newspaper. She was on the school drill team. She was the oldest of 5 siblings. She moved to Spokane from California just a few months before she disappeared and said she would like to return. In 2011, investigators announced they had a new witness who may have seen her walking home, and they didn't disclose the identity, but they saw her at 4:15, several hours after the last confirmed sighting. Hey, it's not that far of a walk. I don't know. A Caucasian male in his 40s or 50s, as well as a white truck with a dark-colored door and a van back end were nearby. You know, people have to know what kind of vehicle, who owns it, and what kind of vehicle that is. 3 suspects have been questioned in her case over the years, but no one's been charged yet. Her boyfriend was questioned extensively, but never named as a suspect. Her parents got a divorce after her disappearance, but later remarried, and her mother died in 2004. So, and I went to the Jane Does, and there's this one all the way in New York that's really far away. So I don't, I can't find a lot of Jane Does sometimes. The 5'1", light colored, possibly red hair, petite build, had expensive dental work at some point in her life. I don't know. There's a ring that was with her with a PMCG on it. And I don't know what this person's boyfriend's name was to know about the ring with a PMCG on it. 32A size bra, pantyhose, I don't know. Wrapped in a rug, put under concrete. So I don't think that's her, but here's an interesting perspective. Okay, so she went missing 1974, right before Christmas. This person was dated discovery January 21st, 1975, a year later. San Bernardino County, 16 to 45 years old, female. Some blonde hairs were found at the scene, but they think it could be from a wig. I don't know. They have DNA, they have x-rays. Jane Doe number 01-75 were found scattered on the ground in an open desert 10 miles south of Oxy Road on Highway 178. That's really far away, but the interesting thing is I couldn't find anyone that matched this Angela Mae Meeker person. She was only 13 years old, about to turn 14. But I found a couple, but one of them that I found was in Whitewater, Riverside County, California. And I don't know if it's her or not, but 13 to 17, 4'10". And I thought, if this Jane Doe that's in Riverside County, California, was Angela Mae Meeker, then this Jane Doe that's in San Bernardino County, California, could be Laurie Lynn Partridge, which is a long shot, I know, because it's so far away. And this one, let's say she was 13 years old, 5'1", 5'2", and small. So, I don't know if either one of them is them. But I was just thinking, if somebody was traveling to Washington from California, I don't know why they would be driving across the country. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they did. Maybe they drove, maybe they had family there, and they drove there. Because she's been missing since December 4th. When did she go missing? I don't know. That's July. But this body, they thought that they had hidden her in the closet or somewhere for a while and then dumped the body. So, I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. If this person was from Spokane, Washington, turned out to be the person from the Jane Doe in San Bernardino, then this person could have been the one that was in Riverside. If they were traveling back and forth, Maybe it was a truck driver or something, right? If it was a truck driver, maybe. I don't know. It's just a long shot. Because I can't find anyone. I know there's a couple of killers that were out around that time. There was a Green River killer. I can't remember what years he was active. Then we have that Rodney Akala guy. And then there was that other guy that was taking girls, and he had chained one girl to his bed and left for work or something, and she got loose, I think. And there was another girl that went missing, and he may have hidden her in, like, 'cause he went hunting and stuff. And that was in Washington, and I'm not sure exactly what year. I think the girl's last name was Hoops. Let's see if we can find out, 'cause he may have been a serial killer. Was it Hoops? Missing Washington. Amber Hoops. Oh, that was Idaho Falls, but that's still not that far from there. And that's 2001, so that's a long time from then. So, and I don't know where he lived at the time. But, wow, such a pretty young girl. About to get married. She's got her whole future ahead of her. That's crazy. There was another girl that kind of looked like her that was found in Las Vegas, but she was taller. She was like 6 inches taller, so it couldn't have been her. And so I don't know. It's really sad, but somebody out there knows something, right? Oh, and they're talking about Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy was active then, but it didn't pan out, it says. So maybe there's another serial killer out there then, because you have her missing in 1974, and then you have her missing in 1979. So I don't know. Non-family abduction. She left high school early, complaining about not feeling well. Oh, I'd hate to have to walk when you're having cramps. Walking at 37th and Havana Streets on Spokane South Hill, unable to get a ride. She decided to walk the 2+ miles to the home. So she probably got in the car with somebody who offered her a ride, and that was probably it. and that's where they found her purse. The contents of her purse were located 2 days later near the location where she was last seen. And it sounds like whoever picked her up might have gone to that concert, or whoever used her tickets at the concert would know who killed her and who had her purse and who dumped it out. So, yeah. And you think somebody around there would know, hey, somebody went to the Beach Boy concert that lived in the area. If it was somebody that lived in that area that took her, they probably would have told their friends that they went to the Beach Boys concert, right? Because I'm sure it's a small area. That right there. So initially, sheriff's deputies thought she might have run away from home, given her displeasure when the family moved to Spokane from California, but by the time she vanished, she had started working at a high school newspaper and was on the drill team. Detectives staked out the Beach Boys concert, to which her father had given her tickets but didn't see her, eventually learning that the tickets had been used, but too late to determine by who. 3 people were questioned by detectives, including one who later turned out to be serial killer Theodore Robert Ted Bundy, but none panned out. And that's what I'm thinking. Whoever used the tickets, right? They probably, when they dumped her purse out and took her, probably took her Beach Boy tickets. Isn't that sad? And you would think somebody would know, be like, oh, I remember they weren't talking about going to the Beach Boys concert, but then after they went, they probably have been talking about it for years, right? For years, they've probably been talking about the Beach Boys concert. So, anyway, if you have any information whatsoever, here's a phone number for the sheriff's department. Contact them. Let them know. Let them know. You know, because somebody has information. They have to. Anyway, otherwise the case is not going to get closed. And these people, this young girl's life, her life is far more valuable. You know, you might think, oh, I'm protecting this person, and I don't want to make people think, what if I'm wrong? You know, you don't protect a killer. It's the victim. The victim, her life was more valuable. She lost her life. She didn't have a future. That's what's more important. I'm just saying, because it's true. So her family lost her. She didn't have a future. She was going to get married. So I just think that's so sad. And there's this website if you want to read it as well. Anyway, thank you for tuning into my channel. Don't forget to stop and pray for her loved ones and her family. I do want to look at this website though. But it's going to blink in and out because there's so many ads. So you won't be able to hear my voice. But you can pause it and read it. Her mother comes from a family. This was her aunt. She is the 4th Partridge kid. Her eldest being sister Laurie Partridge. Her birth name was actually Laura, but everyone knows her as Laura, a name she chose to go by. Not many people know this about her. She never got to meet her Aunt Laurie, as her mom was 10 years old when her sister went missing. Her mom would always talk to her brothers about Laurie's abduction. It was difficult. It is still difficult today for her to talk about without crying. So, yeah, you can pause this and read it if you want to. That is really sad. Her living family lives in painful, unknowing, emotional limbo. They just want to put it behind them. They just cannot move on because they don't know what happened. So, her friend Robin, whose mother, Claudia Leslie Wells, is also missing. And they work with a team of volunteers at Missing and Homeless. Yeah. She was born in Santa Monica, California. So anyway, it's interesting. The person in Vegas that went missing had been to California, but she was like 6 inches taller, so that's really sad. She's happy. She's got her whole future ahead of her. She's doing well at school. She likes her school. She's getting married. And then she just goes missing. So anyway, there's a lot more on this. So, I don't know. Laurie's family begged permission to check the ticket numbers of people coming in. Her mom had the numbers written down. Police refused to let them, as they said it would hold up people getting into the concert. However, police did show up and looked around for Laurie. Later it was discovered the tickets were used because they were general seating and all tickets came in, but authorities were unable to determine who used them. That was the biggest lead that they had, and because of that, the killer got away. That is really sad. They spoke to a witness that came forward, a teenage girl who was riding her horse around 4:15 and spotted a man in his 40-50s in a field holding a rifle standing with a girl who she thought looked like Laurie, and she described the clothes as to what Laurie wore. They were standing in front of a vehicle described as a white truck with a van back end and a darker colored door. When the witness looked back, the girl was no longer visible. The sighting was near the route Laurie last walked. When the witness arrived home, she told her mom what she saw. Later that night, they saw Laurie's story on the local news and contacted the police, and nothing came of it. Police also received reports about a green Ford Pinto Station Wagon in the area. Spotted the missing 17-year-old being held in the back of a Pinto. These leads never went anywhere. There were a couple of other tips that Laurie's dads and fiance followed up on, including them driving to Idaho, but nothing was found. But yeah, a white truck with a van back end and a darker colored door. And the Pinto. So, green Ford Pinto. So if you know who owned those vehicles back then and went to the concert, or friends of theirs went to the concert, I don't know, they could have sold the concert tickets, but maybe you went to the concert and suddenly you bought the 2 tickets from somebody that you knew, and maybe they had a vehicle like that, and you're like, oh, that's who killed her. You know, you could come forward and tell the police. That's crazy. Stanley Benson was a traveling produce salesman who lived in Spokane and had a route close to where Laurie was abducted. Her mom requested several times over the year to have detectives question him. He is still in prison for the abduction and murders of young women and suspected of killing several more. So, Stanley Burnson was a traveling produce salesman. In July 2018, detectives drove out to Walla Walla, where Burnson is incarcerated, and questioned him again. He denied having any involvement with her disappearance. Her ex-boyfriend and fiancé were also extensively questioned. Her fiancé was never considered a suspect. So, this says this is not true. Her purse or the contents of her purse were never found. Her family has verified this with detectives. So the fact that her purse was dumped out and found right there is not true. So even though it says that happened, it never happened. They never found her purse and the contents of it. So whoever took her had her purse. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in to my channel. Don't forget to pray for her loved ones. And have a great day. Bye-bye.